Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's now time for the featured bout of the evening. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Well, it has been an electric start to Fight Week in Las Vegas. The grand arrivals on Tuesday. You had the buzz from Media Day on Wednesday. And now we get down to the nitty-gritty ahead of the trilogy between Canelo and Triple G. And with that comes a packed card from top to bottom on Saturday night. And you are about to hear from them all in Las Vegas as we get set and Fight Week rolls on. All leading up to the trilogy. Canelo, Triple G3 this Saturday, September the 17th from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Justin Shackle welcoming you to the official undercard press conference from Matchroom Boxing as we get you set for a very busy afternoon inside the Cod Theater at the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas. 1 hour from now, we will bring you the main press conference between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. But the undercard leading into Saturday's main event is as strong as we have seen here in 2022. It deserves its own press conference, its own separate platform. And that's what we have here for you as we begin today's events. You have 3 regional title fights and then 1 world title fight. That's the co-feature, of course, Jesse Bam Rodriguez making the second defense of his WBC 115-pound title against Israel Gonzalez. That is the co-feature leading up to Canelo Triple G. Let's meet all the fighters on the undercard. Without further ado, toss it to the stage with Matchroom Chairman Eddie Hearn.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Las Vegas, MGM Grand, ahead of the fight of the year, the card of the year, a huge night of boxing from the T-Mobile Arena live on the DAZN pay-per-view this Saturday. It gives us tremendous pleasure to be here, of course, to give you the trilogy fight between the undisputed super middleweight world champion Canelo Alvarez and the unified middleweight world champion Gennady Golovkin. Probably the greatest rivalry in modern day boxing, set to do it all over again in what I believe will be the best of the 3 on Saturday night. But as I said, all the Canelo Alvarez fights that we've been involved with, this card, far and away the best we've put together. Tremendous fighters from top to bottom, and I'm delighted to be joined by them on the stage. So many to get through, and we'll speak to them all now. Anthony Herrera, welcome. A great opportunity for you on this card. Everyone disappointed with your draw last time out in Mexico. Everybody felt you won that fight comfortably, very unlucky to get the decision, but great to bounce back on a huge card on Saturday night.
Right. A bit disappointed with that, but hey, you know, this is a new opportunity, the biggest stage right now in my career, going on my 4th fight Saturday. So, like I always say, it's Superman time, and I'm just here to make a statement in the 115-pound division.
Mark Castro, welcome. A huge opportunity for you as well. Tough opponent this weekend as well. Drew with Ofer Jones. I remember seeing him on our show recently as well. But for you, another Canelo Alvarez undercard. I've lost count of how many you've had now, but really starting to move towards the championship fights in 2023.
Yes, it's been amazing to be in this position. Sometimes it feels unreal for me. I think it's the 5th Canelo card, and I'm just grateful to be here. It's a tough opponent, but it's the best Mark Castro you'll see this Saturday.
Obviously, you see a lot of your former amateur standout teammates moving on now towards the 8-10 championship fights as well. How close do you feel you are now? You think it's just a situation of clearing this year out, getting your final bit of experience and moving towards those championship fights in 2023?
Yes, definitely. It's all about the fights now. The world titles are won in the gym, and just like Bam Rodriguez, he was ready for that call, and you just got to be ready, just be in the gym.
Forward to seeing you back in action on Saturday. So many great matchups on the card. This one, earlier on in the night, but one you cannot afford to miss. Aponte against Molina. Aaron, we'll start with you. Of course, boxed out in Mexico as well. Great victory out there. This is the kind of fight that we love. 2 undefeated fighters, 2 great prospects. You took this fight in an instant. So did Molina as well. Huge platform, huge card. Going to be a great fight on Saturday.
Yeah. We got a great opportunity in this fight. You know, we have a tough opponent, 8-0. You know, 2 undefeated fighters fighting against each other, and I think it's going to be a great fight. You know, everybody tune into that fight. You know, I thank Matchroom and DAZN for the opportunity of, putting me on this card. And the training's done. I'm in the best shape of my life, and, it's time to shine.
Fernando Molina, great opportunity for you as well. 2 undefeated fighters. Incredible fight. You've been a part of these Canelo undercards before as well, but this is a very, very tough fight.
Este 17 de septiembre vamos a dar una guerra. Somos dos prospectos invictos. Vamos a defender nuestro legado. ¿Quién quiere ser el invicto? Y más que nada vengo muy bien preparado para este 17 de septiembre y van a esperar una guerra.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's going to be a war on September 17th. 2 undefeated prospects, and they're both going to defend their legacy. Who will remain undefeated, we'll see, but we'll be prepared for that day, and they're going to put on a war.
Thank you both. The Ponte Molina, fantastic fight, as is another Mexico-Puerto Rico clash. Diego Pacheco against Enrique Collazo. Diego Pacheco, 15-0, fast-rising star, now on the verge of moving into the world top 15 rankings as well. Enrique, tough test for you, but also a tough test ahead for Diego Pacheco. Huge card, huge platform. Going to be a great fight on Saturday.
I'm excited for stay here, and I know Pacheco is a tough fighter, but I'm a tough fighter too, and it's a big match and big venue, and I'm ready for this. I'm ready. I go for my future, and my opportunity is here. That's it. I prepare myself for this event, and I'm ready.
Thank you, Enrique. Diego, I can't believe that you're 15-0. It seems like yesterday when we started over in America, you were one of our first signings as well. You were not a baby then, but you were pretty much a baby then, and now 15 fights in, so much experience, boxing, obviously in Mexico and America, on huge cards as well, building a great fan base, but it starts to get real now. These fights are real fights, real competition, but it's what you want and it's what you feel you're ready for.
Yes, exactly. I have to thank Matchroom, thank DAZN for the opportunities they've given me since they signed me. I've been blessed to be part of the biggest shows and the biggest events of the past few years. So, this one, nothing short of that is going to be, I feel, the event of the year, and I feel super blessed to be a part of it. And like you said, Eddie, I'm now in the stage where it's time the things get real. I'm ready for these bigger fights. It's what I want, and I feel like people are going to see the best Diego Pacheco come Saturday night.
And the fan base continues to grow. Obviously, we know in LA particularly, but part of a huge card on Saturday night, the fan base from Canelo Alvarez will be watching you as well and looking to jump on that journey with you on Saturday.
Most definitely, yeah. I'm here to, not just be a part of it, to show everyone that I'm here to stay. And I'm excited. I want to thank everyone for the support, everyone who's here. Tell you guys to tune in early and don't miss all of us who are going to be fighting a little earlier. And enjoy the fight Saturday night. Thank you, Diego. It's another great fight. Pacheco against Collazo. Now we go on to 3 fights that I cannot wait for. And this one is a brilliant, brilliant fight. Ammo Williams against Kieran Conway. It's USA against Great Britain. 2 guys that we've been working with for a long, long time. Both guys took the fight in an instant on Saturday night. I'm going to start with you, Kieran. You boxed, of course, on the Billy Joe Saunders Canelo Alvarez card as well in front of 75,000. Now another Canelo Alvarez card, this time against Triple G. Massive fight. You took the fight in an instant up at middleweight, which we feel is going to suit you much better than 154 pound. Can you believe you're here in Las Vegas about to fight on this card? And I know you've been here before, but this is something special to perform in Vegas.
Yeah, this is special. And firstly, thank you for the opportunity. I feel like this is a second chance for me because I didn't put the performance on that I should have last year. But I'm here to get a W. And that's it. And I'm ready to go. I feel fresh. I feel very prepared. And I'm ready to go Saturday night.
Obviously, Ammo Williams has been very outspoken about this fight. He believes he's coming to force a stoppage. You've also talked about you believe that you could also force a stoppage on Saturday night. He's a good young fighter, very explosive. But you have a lot of experience in these big championship fights.
Yeah, I've got a lot of experience. I've done a lot of rounds with high-level fights. And I've been there with the explosive, the fast pace. So yeah, I've got the experience there too. And I do believe I'm here to get that W. I didn't know that I was the underdog until this morning. I thought that I was the favourite. But it is what it is. I'm coming here, I'm the favourite in my mind. I'm coming here to win.
Obviously, you've been involved in those big fights as well, but something different from Ammo. He's got a lot to say. He's very outspoken as well. You like that, you enjoy that, and you enjoy the rivalry leading into this fight. A lot of people now engaged across social media through the interviews yesterday, but two young fighters desperate to win.
Yeah, I like his attitude. I think it's good for this fight as well. It promotes it really well. He's done well there. He's obviously really excited, so I hope the fans are just as excited as he is. Let's get this going.
Ammo, you've been asking for these big fights for a while now, these big platforms. You've been part of them. Your last fight was supposed to be a step up against Cordell Booker at Madison Square Garden. Didn't go into the second round in that fight as well. Equally as confident going into this fight that you win by knockout.
Definitely. I mean, I hear the same stuff every single press conference. And guys like him, they say they're ready. They had the best, training camp of their life or whatever. They fresh and experienced. Eddie, we just heard Cordell Booker say the exact same thing he's saying right now. So, it's just going to get better. What I'm about to do is going to be worse than what I did to Cordell Booker, and that's a promise to you.
Kieran Conway is very tough. He's been in with some seasoned opposition as well, but you believe you have the speed, the power, the ability to take him out in this fight. And is that the intention of Ammo Williams in this fight? Not looking to cruise to a points decision or victory by any means necessary. It's the KO that you're after on Saturday.
Ammo don't fight for points. Everybody know that. I'm going to end him. He's done now.
And finally, Ammo, your belief that you are levels above Kieran Conway. You've been calling out big names for a while. This is the Canelo Triple G card. This is the biggest platform in boxing as well. We're going to see something special from you at the weekend.
You will see something you'll never forget. I promise that.
Thank you, Ammo Williams, Kieran Conway. Another unbelievable fight, as is this one. Sometimes teams talk about fights. Ali Akhmedov, who has been one of the most feared 168-pounders for a while now, had that epic fight of the year with Carlos Gongora, in which he was winning the fight, got stopped in the last round, has come back with 2 victories as well. Someone said, I think it was Tom Loeffler or someone like that, what about Gabe Rosado? And I said, Gabe's not going to fight Ali Akhmedov because, Gabe's coming off a great fight with Jaime Munguia. We saw him with a devastating knockout over Beck. I don't think he's going to take it. Anyway, someone messages Gabe Rosado, and the answer was yes, very quickly. Gabe, we should have known better, right? I mean, once again, you're there. Once again, you're ready. Yeah. The resurgence in your career, I mean, there was never really a downtime in the career, but the Beck victory, the Jaime Munguia performance as well, this is a different kind of fight. You really had a lot to lose in the Beck fight, nothing really to lose against Jaime Munguia, but back in a position where you must win again on Saturday night.
No, definitely. It's just, first and foremost, I want to thank God for the opportunity and Matchroom and DAZN. And, it's just an opportunity that I saw that was worth it. It's a big card. I believe it's the card of the year. And fighting in front of a big crowd, millions watching at home. And it's one of those fights where, I do what I believe I'm capable of doing and coming out with a great victory, sky's the limit.
Do you take anything from that Gongora fight? I mean, it was an incredible fight. I think you were there, were you? You were commentating on the fight, yeah. And
on the fight.
I mean, Ali Akhmedov dominated a lot of that fight. Yeah. Carlos Gongora came on long. Is that what it's going to take against Ali Akhmedov? You expect a tough fight, a fight that could go deep into the championship rounds here?
Yeah, absolutely. At this level, every fight's a tough fight. So it's just putting in the work and doing what I have to do in training camp. And just having that self-belief that I belong here. It's doing the unthinkable, man. It keeps me motivated and it keeps me excited. So I'm having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the event, and I'm excited.
Well, I know you're focused on Saturday night, the WBC's Silver Super Middleweight Championship, but as a great pundit for DAZN and as someone that shared the ring with Gennady Golovkin, just a quick one on that fight. Seems to be a big feel over the last couple of days about a wave of, I don't know if it's support for Gennady Golovkin, but just a feeling that this could be a tough fight for Canelo Alvarez coming off that defeat, and we expect both men to not take a step backwards in that fight.
Yeah, it's a great fight. I think Canelo's showing a lot of emotions, but I think if he goes in there smart, I think either way it's going to be a competitive fight. It's going to be a really close fight. It's probably going to be the best fight out of the 2 they already had. But I think, you know, he has to control his emotions because Triple G is a technician, man, and he's smart, and Canelo can't afford to make a mistake because Triple G will make him pay. So it's definitely going to be a great fight.
Well, good luck in your fight on Saturday. Ali Akhmedov, welcome. WBC Silver Championship on the line. That one's Jesse's, but you've got that one coming one day perhaps. And a big fight for you on Saturday, of course. You know, your friend Gennady Golovkin headlining, but a great fight against Gabe Rosado.
Yeah. Thanks, Eddie. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. It's big time for me. It's my first fight in Las Vegas. I'm so excited, and I'm ready for this.
Obviously, we saw you with the defeat to Gongora. You come back with 2 wins. Gabe Rosado, very well known, very respected. He's a warrior. We expect another fight of the year contender on Saturday.
Yeah, I know Gabe Rosado. He's a very good fighter. He's a tough fighter. But for this night, I'm ready. And we make great training camp. I feel great. This time is a good time for this fight.
Thank you. Ali Akhmedov against Gabe Rosado. Another fantastic fight for this undercard, as is this one, the co-main event. And I think this man to my right, Jesse Rodriguez, is just one of the great success stories of 2022 in boxing. Took the opportunity back in February to step up on a week's notice and fight Carlos Cuadras for the WBC Super Flyweight Championship, having already agreed a fight at 108 pounds, moved to 115 pounds to fight Cuadras, dominated him, then came out and boxed his mandatory, saw Rungvisai, stopped him, and now steps up to fight Israel Gonzalez and defend his WBC title. Jesse Rodriguez, for me, already, I believe, fighter of the year, and I think he's going to go on to be a big contender for that title and a huge name in the sport of boxing. But first, Israel Gonzalez, a fantastic fighter in his own right. We saw him in a fantastic fight with Chocolatito, a very close fight with Cal Yafai that he could have won that fight and become world champion himself. Israel, a huge opportunity for you, of course, with the Mexican legend Canelo Alvarez, and a chance for you to become world champion on Saturday.
Te vimos contra Chocolatito, te vimos contra Yafai, que podrías haber ganado esa pelea, dicen mucha gente. Es una oportunidad muy grande para ti estar en la misma cartelera que Canelo, la leyenda mexicana. ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Qué piensas antes de esta pelea?
Primero que nada, buenas tardes a todos. Estoy muy agradecido con Dios de que me haya permitido estar en este sillón, en este asiento. Muchas gracias a Eddie y a Mushroom por la oportunidad. Muchas gracias a Jesse por darnos esa oportunidad de ir por el título del CMB. Estoy muy contento, muy feliz. Hice una buena preparación. Soy un hombre de mucha fe, un hombre de mucho corazón y mucha voluntad, y creo que el 17 de septiembre voy a demostrar de qué estamos hechos.
First of all, good afternoon. He wants to thank God for letting him be in this seat. Thank you to Eddie and Matchroom for the opportunity. Thank you, Jesse, for the opportunity to fight for this WBC title. He's very happy. He feels that he prepared well. And he has a lot of faith and a lot of heart and a lot of willpower. And he'll show what he's made of. He has faith that he'll show what he's made of on September 17th.
Thank you, Israel. Jesse? I mean, what a year it's been so far, and I guess the danger in this fight, we know how good Israel Gonzalez is. He probably should have been a world champion already as well, but everyone talking to you about the Estrada Chocolatito winner, moving down to 112, fighting one of those guys, Julio Cesar Martinez. This is a tough fight, and I know you're fully focused on Saturday night.
Yeah, come Saturday night, this is the only goal that I'm focused on right now. September 17th, Israel Gonzalez. I'm going out there to make a statement and to solidify that I'm fighter of the year. And then after that, we can talk what's next, but September 17th is the main goal.
Do you feel the pressure going into this fight? I mean, originally against Cuadras, everyone was just giving you the credit for taking that fight at late notice. Rungvisai was, I guess, a 50-50 fight in many people's minds. But now people are looking at you as a potential fighter of the year candidate. Do you have to win in style, or is that always the intention of Jesse Rodriguez?
That's just what I do. I just go out there and perform the way I do, and people love it. And, I mean, I don't even try to... the angles that I do, everything that I do, it just comes natural. So September 17th is going to be no different from that. I'm just ready to go.
And finally, Israel Gonzalez, every fight I've seen him in is a tremendous fight. He always comes to fight. No just getting through this fight or coasting. You're going to do your thing, and we expect you two to come together in a great fight.
Yeah, September 17, tune in. You're going to see something special. This fight's going to turn me from a star to a superstar, and people are going to remember my name. Not only the hardcore boxing fans, but the casual boxing fans as well. They're going to remember this performance forever.
Well, Jesse Rodriguez, it's been a great year. We look forward to a tremendous fight on Saturday. Once again, guys, this undercard, absolutely sensational. From Anthony Herrera to Mark Castro to Aponte against Molina to Collazo against Pacheco, from Amo Williams to Kieran Conway, from Gabe Rosado to Ali Akhmedov, and from a potential fighter of the year, Jesse Rodriguez against Israel Gonzalez for the WBC world title. From top to bottom, this is going to be a thrilling card ahead of what will be, I believe, the fight of the year in the main event as well. These guys are going to have head-to-heads up here. They're going to be available to the media as well. And then we'll pause for the main event presser. Gentlemen, good luck on Saturday night. Thank you.
Matchroom Chairman Eddie Hearn with the final words before these fighters will take their turns and face off on the stage. Again, all the action begins this Saturday afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Before the bell, you could see that on DAZN. Anthony Herrera, Aaron Aponte leading off the first two matches, and then Mark Castro, like you saw, and Diego Pacheco headlining the before the bell undercard. The main card beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific over on DAZN. And saw Austin Amo Williams going up against Kieran Conway. Heard those two fighters speak, and I think we're already getting the fight week experience with Austin Amo Williams. But leading us off here with our head-to-head face-offs, Aaron Aponte, 6-0, 2 knockouts under his belt against Fernando Angel Molina. A tough opponent for Aponte. Molina coming in at 8-0, 3 knockouts, picked up a victory on the Canelo Bivol undercard back on May the 7th, and this is his 7th straight fight in the U.S. Aponte, meanwhile, fighting on a Canelo undercard for the second time. This one's scheduled for 6 rounds at 140 pounds. Aponte fought on a Canelo undercard in his hometown of Miami in just his second pro fight. He called that his pinch me moment as a young professional, and now he gets to go at it again on Canelo Triple G3. There's Mark Castro, Anthony Herrera. Obviously, they will not be facing one another. Herrera will be in action for 6 rounds, his second straight 6-round fight. Mark Castro, this is his 6th Canelo undercard. He fought on May the 7th on the Canelo Bivol undercard. Castro, of course, 7-0 with 5 knockouts. And there you see Diego Pacheco and Enrique Collazo. 10 rounds for the vacant WBC US NBC super middleweight title. This is Pacheco's first title fight as a pro. This is Collazo's 3rd time performing in a 10-round fight. It is Mexico versus Puerto Rico in this one. Pacheco 15-0 with 12 knockouts. He is one of the most impressive young fighters in the entire sport, never mind in the super middleweight division. Collazo 16-2-1 with 11 knockouts. And the main card, like we said, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on DAZN pay-per-view. Austin Amo Williams, Kieran Conway, 10 rounds for the vacant WBA international middleweight title. Amo coming off his biggest win to date, silencing Cordell Booker in the first round at Madison Square Garden on the Taylor Serrano undercard. Conway has nearly 100 more pro rounds of experience, and he said he will be ready for the aggression from Amo right out of the gate. Conway 18-2-1 with 4 knockouts. He calls his punch ability underrated. Williams, meanwhile, 11-0 with 9 knockouts, as these see the intense stare down between Williams and Conway. Good handshake there. Amo Williams looks to pick up a victory in his 2nd straight professional title match here. Won a regional belt at MSG, going for another one here this Saturday on DAZN. Ali Akhmedov, Gabe Rosado, 10 rounds for the IBF North American Super Middleweight title. Akhmedov coming in at 18-1 with 14 knockouts. This is his 20th pro fight. Rosado, he turned pro when Akhmedov was 10 years old. 26-14-1, 15 knockouts. The intense stare down here at the Koth Theater at the MGM Grand. Again for the IBF North American Super Middleweight Championship. And then the co-feature. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, a front runner for Fighter of the Year here in 2022, making already his second title defense after winning the WBC Super Flyweight title back in February over Carlos Cuadras. He took down Sarungvasai in his hometown of San Antonio back in late June, and now he makes his second title defense against Israel Gonzalez. This is Gonzalez's fourth attempt at a world title at 115 pounds, the first time he is going for that WBC belt. He enters at 28-4-1, and Bam Rodriguez, of course, 16-0, 11 knockouts as he gets his championship hardware back from Eddie Hearn. A lot of questions surrounding Bam Rodriguez, a potential Chocolatito fight down the line, but he says, Robert Garcia, his trainer, also says that they are focused on the Saturday matchup with Israel Gonzalez only, which is right in front of them. That's going to do it for the undercard press conference here at the Cott Theater at the MGM Grand, but join us again at the top of the hour. And a reminder, there will be a separate link for you to click on to join us for the main event press conference between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin. All coming up at the top of the hour here from Matchroom Boxing. We'll talk to you then.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's now time for the featured bout of the evening. From the four corners of the world, to the four corners of this ring, the fight starts now!
Well, the build-up for this battle has brewed all summer long, from the promo launch in Los Angeles and New York through the training camps for each fighter in California, and now the drama and the excitement already spilling over at the start of Fight Week here in Las Vegas. We are getting closer, just over 48 hours away from boxing's biggest rivalry taking center stage for a third fight. The opinions are going to be shoved to the side. The smack talk is going to be silenced as well. It will be for greatness. It will be for legacy. It is the trilogy, Canelo Triple G3. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas. It's Justin Shackle welcoming you to the official main event press conference for Matchroom Boxing for Canelo Triple G3. Will we have a finality to this saga between Canelo Alvarez, the reigning and undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, and Gennady Golovkin, the unified middleweight champion of the world? We're going to get some answers here this Saturday on DAZN pay-per-view at the T-Mobile Arena. But before we do that, we are going to hear from both fighters this afternoon. Canelo and Triple G will take the stage along with Matchroom Chairman Eddie Hearn, their respective trainers, Eddie Reynoso for Alvarez, and Jonathan Banks for Gennady Golovkin. We'll also hear from DAZN Executive Vice President Joe Markovsky about the magnitude of this fight, the third installment of Canelo Triple G happening on DAZN pay-per-view. Canelo Alvarez entering this contest at 57-2-2, coming off just his second pro defeat of his career back on May the 7th at T-Mobile Arena against Dmitry Bivol. Gennady Golovkin, meanwhile, entering at 42-1-1. The only blemishes on that terrific record, of course, a loss to Canelo Alvarez in their second meeting and a draw in their first meeting back in September of 2017. He's coming off a 9th round stoppage over Ryota Murata back on April the 9th in Japan. That was one day after Gennady Golovkin turned 40 years of age. And when you take a look at some of the storylines and the behaviors of these two fighters heading into this third matchup, the age range has always been a big one, even from the start of their first fight back in September of 2017. But now Gennady Golovkin is at 40 years old, and Canelo Alvarez turned 32 back in July. So will the magic number of 40 be more of a focus for Golovkin, or will that age range prove to be a big factor as these two step into the ring for a third time? Many people feel like the styles of each of these two fighters have changed since their second meeting back in September of 2018. So Canelo and Triple G, along with the other parties, are approaching the stage area as we get set to begin the main event press conference here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The crowd still filing into the Koch Theater here at the MGM Grand as these parties get set to go here on the stage. Let's take a look at what will be in store this Saturday night on DAZN pay-per-view.
Very few fights can be called super fights. This is one of them. Both men are firing what they've got.
This is a draw. There has to be a rematch. And new there's a score to settle.
There's real bad blood here.
Everybody wants to fight, right? He took a lot of shit.
I don't want talking with him. I want to fight.
Well, 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 ladies and gentlemen, it's big fight week here in Las Vegas, and ain't nothing like it in the world. I see we got some boxing fans out here. Make yourselves known. Listen, when you have two of the best fighters of their generation locking horns, not once, not twice, but 3 times, us as the fans, we're really being treated to something very special. And this weekend, across the street at the T-Mobile Arena, live on DAZN pay-per-view, Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, in association with Canelo Promotions and Triple G Promotions, are proud to present the trilogy. It's the rematch. Canelo, Triple G, 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. We're sponsored by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. DraftKings Sportsbook. With action so good, why bet anywhere else? MGM Rewards. Fred Loya Insurance, Value, and Visit Abu Dhabi. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and meet the fighters. Let's bring them out here. Now making his way to the stage, on Saturday night, he'll be appearing in his 26th world title contest. He holds the highest knockout ratio in middleweight championship boxing history. Saturday night, he's looking to avenge his one lone defeat. Fighting out of and proudly representing his home of Karaganda, Kazakhstan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage at this time the 2004 Olympic silver medalist and the reigning and the unified middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the stage on Saturday night, he'll be appearing in his 23rd world title appearance as he looks to defend his historic super middleweight status. At this time, please welcome the former super welterweight champion of the world. Please welcome the former middleweight champion of the world. Please welcome the former light heavyweight champion of the world. And please welcome the reigning, the defending, and the first ever only undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, presentando de Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, el orgullo del pueblo mexicano, Saúl Canelo.
De la guitarra mía, al despertar la mañana, quiere cantar su
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the president of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Well, thank you, David. And thank you to everybody here in the MGM Grand, Las Vegas, ahead of a very, very special event on Saturday night. The trilogy between two of the game's modern greats. Firstly, the unified middleweight world champion, Gennady Golovkin, and of course, the undisputed super middleweight world champion, Canelo Saul Alvarez, looking to take part after two epic encounters live on DAZN pay-per-view this weekend around the world, and we cannot wait for this fight. The greatest fight in boxing today and one of the greatest undercards we've put together. This event, September 17th at the T-Mobile, will be one you will not forget. And it's an honor to be sitting up alongside these two great fighters today. We're going to hear from the fighters and their teams as well. But first, before we do, we're going to pass over to Joe Markowski from DAZN ahead of a massive moment for the platform.
Well, thank you, Eddie, and thank you to Team Canelo and Team Triple G and to our hosts here at the MGM Grand. Listen, there are fights and there are mega fights. The magnitude of this fight, I think everyone in this arena today understands. For DAZN, the fight we've been trying to make for 4 years, our story in the US is wrapped up in this fight. We have fantastic relationships with both Saul and Gennady, and it's our true honor and pleasure to broadcast this on the DAZN pay-per-view around the world this coming weekend. We couldn't be prouder, and we're very excited to welcome all of our fans back to the platform for what promises to be a fantastic show on Saturday night. So thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Joe. We go to the challengers team. Firstly, the great trainer, former great fighter, Jonathan Banks. Jonathan, welcome. I know you're a cool character, but you can't help but be excited, can you, ahead of Saturday night? I mean, you're very close to this man. You would have put a game plan together to be triumphant on Saturday night, but an incredible fight for boxing, and I believe we could see the best of the three yet.
Yeah, 100%. You can see the best of the three. It's an exciting moment. This is big-time boxing, so this is what the moment everybody's been waiting for. So there's nothing but excitement. I'm sure there's nothing but excitement going on both sides of each team, and we're definitely looking forward to Saturday.
We've seen this week both fighters pretty quiet, confident and calm as well, but big-time boxing, like you said, two great competitors, two great fighters, ultimately two warriors desperate to win on Saturday night.
Exactly. You got two professionals, you know, and both of them take their job seriously. That's the reason this fight has such the draw that it has, is at the magnitude that it is. And it's gonna, like you keep saying, it's going to be a great night Saturday night because you got two titans going head-to-head, and it's going to be a great battle.
A quick word about the weight, 168 pounds. I'm sure tomorrow on the scales it'll be a much better feeling for Gennady Golovkin with that extra weight as well. People talk about the stage in his career, but I feel, and a lot of people feel, that weight is going to really help him. Been making championship weight at middleweight for a long, long time, and a new journey at 168 for this fight.
Man, Triple G is a true professional, and if he fight at middleweight, he's coming in the middleweight. He fighting the super middleweight, he's coming in super middleweight. I don't think it's gonna be a help or a hurt to him. You know, it's the fact that this the way he agreed to fight at, so he's gonna fight there. But I don't think it's gonna make a difference. I think the biggest difference is just we excited to have this challenge on the table, and he's just extremely looking forward to performing on Saturday night.
Canelo Alvarez seems fired up for this fight, talks about going for the knockout victory. You saw a very aggressive version of him in the second fight. Do you expect that version again in this fight? And surely if we do, we know how Gennady Golovkin chooses to fight. It's going to be a sensational battle.
Exactly, 100%. I mean, I think you'd be really foolish to believe that he's not going to come out aggressive. I mean, he's like I said, both guys are ultimate competitors. And he come out aggressive than anyone else, so why wouldn't he come out aggressive now? And this takes nothing away from him, but I think however he comes, G's ready for it and he'll meet the challenge.
Gennady, welcome. As a fan, I can't wait for this fight. Two of the best fights I've ever seen. A lot of people feel like we're going to get the best of the three so far. You ready? Physically, mentally, for war on Saturday night?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say hi, guys. Good to see everybody. You know, I'm very happy to be here again. You know, like last time 4 years ago, long time. Finally, right now, Saturday night. I think it is the biggest day for boxing right now. You know, biggest gift for you, for fans, guys. You know, yeah, I feel very comfortable. I feel strong, you know, I feel ready, guys. See you Saturday night.
Gennady, I know that you're a respectable man, but I know how much of a warrior you are. I know how much you want to win on Saturday night. I have to ask you, you know, you sit here now off the back of two tremendous fights. Do you believe that you won the first fight, and do you believe that you won the second fight? And ultimately, do you truly believe you will win the third fight on Saturday?
You know, I believe for everything, you know, I believe for my win, you know, I believe for myself, you know, I believe for my team, you know, I believe for people who support me, you know, for my family, you know, this is my life, this is my true life. Guys, come on.
And there's been a lot said. We expect an aggressive Canelo Alvarez in the ring. Do you expect him to do what he said he will do, to be aggressive in this fight, to look for the knockout this time around. And again, if he does, we should have a tremendous fight.
You know, we're both professional athletes, you know, like his strategy like more aggressive, and my strategy more experienced, you know, like see you later, like, you know, ring show us like who is better, you know, like this is biggest fight again, biggest fight for us, you know, like
And finally, I know this is the competition between two great fighters, but also the undisputed super middleweight championship as well. I know how much those belts have meant to you in the past. I know you want to win this rivalry, but also Saturday night, a victory for you would see you capture all these belts as well.
Yes, this is 168, you know, like I have 3 belts in 160, you know, just it's a new step for me, you know, like everything has changed, everything is possible, guys, for this life, you know, like
Thank you, Gennady Golovkin.
Thank you.
We go to Team Alvarez. Eddie, welcome. You are a great competitor as well, and I know that defeat last time out has motivated you as much as it has Saul. He looks in tremendous shape. We're ready for a great fight on Saturday.
Bienvenido en primer lugar. Eddie, bienvenido en primer lugar. Sabemos, bueno, yo sé que tú también eres el muy buen competidor y la derrota te tiene que haber dolido también, pero es una gran motivación, supongo, de volver a demostrar y podemos esperar una gran pelea el sábado por la noche.
Sí, buenas tardes. Pues sí, la verdad estamos muy motivados para el sábado. Hicimos un muy buen trabajo durante más de 3 meses y pues no hay más que decir, más que esperar el sábado y verán que las cosas van a ser diferentes.
Hi everyone, first and foremost. Yeah, it's a great motivation. We're in great shape at the moment. We've worked really hard over this period of 3 months when we've had the camp. There's nothing more really to say. We're just going to see on Saturday how things will turn out differently.
Eddie, we've seen a fired up Canelo for this build-up. Obviously the personal rivalry as well with Gennady Golovkin, but also the will to bounce back with victory. Have you been pleased with what you've seen from Saul in this camp and the motivation that he has going into this fight?
Sabemos que tan motivado está el Saúl en este momento por también lo que sufrió, pero también como persona, pero también por la derrota. ¿Estás contento con su rendimiento en ese campamento y le ves muy motivado para esta pelea?
Sí, él es un deportista muy competitivo. Él siempre ha sido, desde niño ha sido ganador y pues todas las derrotas sirven, así como las victorias también. Estamos motivados, estamos en nuestro trabajo, estamos enfocados en lo que es esta pelea y sobre todo hicimos muy buen trabajo en todas estas semanas.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really competitive sportsman, Canelo. Obviously, he's been like that since he was a kid. So, you know, you learn not just from victories, but also from defeats. And I've seen that he's been really motivated and really focused, and we've done some fantastic work over these previous weeks.
Finally, he says he'll be aggressive in this fight. Obviously, you have the game plan with him as well. But if so, we should be taking off from the 12th round last time, and we should experience a fantastic fight on Saturday.
Sí, hemos hablado, esperamos la agresión de Saúl. Y si el caso es así, supongo que podemos esperar una extensión del round número 12, la última vez, y podemos esperar una gran pelea con mucha agresividad.
Sí, ya se conocen ellos, 24 rounds ya han peleado, se conocen bastante bien. Los dos tienen muy buen nivel boxístico, cada uno tiene sus diferentes aptitudes y creo que el que saque sus mejores virtudes es el que va a ganar la pelea. Nosotros hicimos, como te digo, un gran campamento. Golovkin siempre ha sido un peleador, un deportista muy disciplinado, muy ordenado, entonces va a ser una gran pelea.
Yes, so we know that they've faced each other already in over 24 rounds. We also know the level of boxing that we can expect. They both have different skills and both different aptitudes, and it depends the person who will win, who was able to show them on the night. So we can expect a great fight on Saturday night.
Eddie, thank you. Saul, welcome. And before I ask you a few questions, I know that you have a very special presentation to make to your friend and trainer and manager, Eddie Reynoso.
Sí, este es el premio que se ganó en el 2021 del Manager del Año, Eddie Reynoso. Felicidades.
Of the year for 2021, which I'm going to present to Eddie now.
Thank you, Joe.
Sal, welcome to the Fight Week press conference. I've seen a serious side to you this week. I know you're always smiling, but the pain of defeat last time is forgotten about, but very excited about this fight. I've not really seen you like this in a fight before, and I can't wait as a fan of both you guys to watch this fight. I think we're in for an incredible night on Saturday.
Así es, estoy muy contento de regresar al cuadrilátero, contento de que ya estemos a unos días, muy emocionado, motivado. Después de mi pelea pasada, obviamente nos dolió mucho, pero como hombres hay que seguir adelante, seguir por el camino de la grandeza y me siento contento, motivado de estar aquí, agradecido con toda la gente, el apoyo que siempre me han brindado. El sábado daremos lo mejor de nosotros para ganar y así será, primero Dios.
Yes, I'm really happy to be back here, back in the ring, and just a couple of days out now from the fight. Really motivated to be here. Obviously, the defeat hurt, but you know we're back on the path to greatness, and I'm really delighted to be here. And I want to thank everyone for the support. And you know, on Saturday, you're going to see the best of me.
Again, that emotion that you've showed in this fight as well. Do you need to keep that emotion under a lid in the ring, or are you ready to let it all out there? And you talked about wanting to end this fight by knockout as well. People always talk about fighters fighting off emotion. You're going to be in control of that on Saturday, but a special kind of feeling going into this fight.
Así es, no, yo trabajo bajo presión, trabajo mejor y la verdad es que quiero terminar esta pelea antes de los 12 asaltos. Sé que será muy complicado. Sé que no será fácil, pero nada es fácil en esta vida y yo vine a lograr lo complicado, así que me emociona mucho, me motivé mucho para entrenar, hacer un gran campamento, porque mi tirada es terminar esta pelea antes de los 12 asaltos. Sé que tengo un gran rival enfrente, un rival muy fuerte, muy inteligente, pero esa es mi tirada para esta pelea.
Yes, you know, I feel like I work better under pressure, and the pressure I've put on myself is to finish this inside the distance before the 12 rounds. I know it's going to be very difficult, but nothing in life is easy. You know, I always look to achieve what's difficult, and I've been really excited and really motivated during my training camp to try and finish this before 12 rounds. I've got a really tough rival in front of me, a strong, intelligent opponent, but that will be my aim on Saturday night.
I know you said you're almost bored of the head-to-heads now. We're going to do another one in a minute, but you said, you know, I just...
In the fight, I'm ready.
And finally, to you, Saul, you believe Saturday night you end this great rivalry, a rivalry that boxing has always needed. Every great champions need great rivalries, but on Saturday night you will finish this rivalry between you and Gennady Golovkin.
It's going to be difficult, but that's what I want, and that's what I want to accomplish Saturday night.
And finally, obviously, we've allowed fans in here today. There'll be thousands of fans outside the T-Mobile for the weigh-in tomorrow. A packed T-Mobile arena, Mexican Independence Weekend as well. A few words for your fans in Mexico and in the arena here.
No, la verdad es que estoy muy agradecido con ustedes, el apoyo que me brindan y espero el sábado todos juntos gritemos ¡Viva México, cabrones!
Thanks for the support. I have to say thank you for the support that you always give to me, and I hope that on Saturday night we'll all be shouting Viva Mexico, cabrones.
Well, thank you to the fans here. As I said, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Toshiba Plaza outside the T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas. I want to thank, of course, Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin, and both teams, because in boxing we need great rivalries. These are two of the greatest champions from our generation, and on Saturday night they will be going to war for your entertainment. So finally, before I go, guys, let's hear it for Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez.
Well, the Cobb Theater here at the MGM Grand, the fans swarming in from their seats as they get ready to witness another stare down this week. The press conference just wrapping up as Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin meet face to face here on stage. Big time energy here at the MGM Grand as we get set for Canelo Triple G3. And this is one of many Fight Week events these two will go through. You saw a very jovial Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez, a bit more reserved, businesslike here, cracking a joke near at the tail end. It's all the hardware draped over the arms of the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. There you see Canelo Alvarez exiting the stage here at the Cott Theater at the MGM Grand, and some interesting topics discussed over that press conference. The desperation factor mentioned by Matchroom Chairman Eddie Hearn. We're going to have Eddie on set in a few moments, but both fighters entering this fight with different incentives. Canelo Alvarez trying to silence those critics who believe that Triple G won those first two matches as close as they were, and he wants to put an end to that discussion. Gennady Golovkin obviously waiting around here 4 years later from that second fight, looking to pick up a win on paper, even though he says he believes he won those first two fights in his heart. He said he's comfortable knowing that he won those first two fights, but a win on record for Canelo, or for Gennady Golovkin over Canelo Alvarez, would go a long way for Gennady Golovkin. And we're going to welcome in Matchroom Chairman Eddie Hearn here on set as you see Canelo Alvarez addressing the media once again. And this is obviously coming with the territory for these two fighters. They know the drill by now. They have to meet a lot of obligations during a massive fight week like this. But Eddie, I sense on stage, Canelo Alvarez is waiting to get through all this, chomping at the bit to get to Saturday.
Yeah, I've not seen him like this before, to be honest with you. I think obviously he understands the complexity and the difficulty of the challenge ahead. There's the pressure of coming off the defeat as well. I think he's had enough now. You know, I think media obligations, face-to-face. Obviously, we've got one more at the weigh-in tomorrow, but he's just ready to fight. And there's a huge amount of pressure on both guys. You know, for Gennady Golovkin, I guess fighting with one last roll of the dice to become undisputed champion. But for Canelo Alvarez, coming off the defeat as well. A lot of pressure and a lot of feeling around this week that Gennady Golovkin might have a lot more chance than people are giving him credit for in this fight. I think we're going to see an unbelievable fight on Saturday.
All right, can I put you on the spot here? Who has more pressure in your eyes? On them.
Honestly, probably Canelo, because although Gennady might feel like this is maybe the last roll of the dice, certainly to become undisputed, for Canelo Alvarez, back-to-back defeats would be crippling for his career. You know, this is a pound-for-pound great fighter, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter who's slipped off that ranking through a defeat to someone outside of his weight division, wants to come back and make a statement. Mexican Independence Weekend, a huge crowd at the T-Mobile, the whole world watching. And this is just one of the great rivalries of boxing. You know, I've been a Gennady Golovkin fan for many, many years. We've had him fight some of our guys before. And of course, Canelo Alvarez, who is one of the all-time great fighters. And I just feel like neither guy are going to take a step backwards on Saturday. I think you're going to see the best of the three fights so far.
You get to sit between fighters all the time up on stages like that at venues and events like this. What was the energy like sitting between Canelo and Gennady?
Honestly, like they don't really want to be there anymore. You know, like they've done so much media for this fight. We've had so many head-to-heads. Saul doesn't really enjoy the media. I mean, you see the pictures there. Look, this is a mixture, and that's just the media. You know, that's not fans down there. That's the media, the world media, looking to get their piece of, you know, the biggest star in boxing. And it comes with a lot of pressure. It comes with a lot of draining activity around fight week. And really, at this point, you know, the training team, Eddie Reynoso and you know the physios and the strength coaches will be saying enough. You know, sooner or later they're going to pull him out and say, we need to go back to the room. You need to have a rest. You've got to train later, etc. Because the weigh-in's tomorrow. You know, both guys should make the championship limit comfortably, but it's really nearly time to switch on. You know, all of this is great, amazing turnout tonight. Wait till you see the weigh-in tomorrow. But this is it, you know, and you build up a fight, and then all of a sudden you realise, wow, we're 2 days away. We're 2 days away from the trilogy. And there's the energy in the T-Mobile Arena on Saturday is going to be something we'll never forget. And honestly, it's going to be, I mean, the undercard as well is incredible. It's an incredible night of boxing, the night of the year so far. And every sport needs a great rivalry. This is probably the greatest rivalry of our generation in boxing.
I think it's important to highlight how both fighters are able to compartmentalize these emotions right now, what we're talking about right ahead of the weigh-in, the obligations that they have to meet. They're doing it in a terrific sense, terrific ability there. But yeah, we're going to do it again tomorrow outside the T-Mobile Arena for the official weigh-in. Eddie, thanks so much for joining us here. We'll see you tomorrow at the official weigh-in starting up at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern here on Matchroom Boxing. Until then, for our entire Matchroom crew, I'm Justin Shackle. We'll talk to you Friday afternoon, everybody.
Your winner by majority decision and new WBC, WBO, IBO Ring Magazine middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo.
Un momento de felicidad grandísimo para nosotros. Como equipo fue una pelea muy importante para nosotros. Soy una persona que no llora mucho, pero esas veces que no puedes asimilarlo, la verdad es que son sentimientos únicos. El estar mi familia ahí, mi esposa, mis hijas, mi mamá, mi papá, mis hermanos, mis amigos, todo mi equipo, para mí es muy importante y significa mucho. ¿Por qué? Pues porque la familia, al final de cuentas, es lo más importante para nosotros.
The way that he boxed in those fights surprised a lot of people against Triple G. You know, particularly the second fight where he chose just to come forward, you know, and meet Triple G and head on. Took everything from Triple G. You know, the most fearsome puncher in the middleweight division, one of the biggest pound-for-pound punchers in the sport. You know, that was the fight that made everybody say, this man is a machine.
El hecho de que el mejor boxeador del momento sea mexicano, eso es motivo de muchísimo orgullo. Canelo es un deportista que nació de hueso colorado deportista. No puede parar de competir. Más de la mitad de esa carrera ha sido criticado y sin embargo ahora es el rey de los libra por libra. Un verdadero boxeador mexicano.
Fueron 2 peleas muy buenas que tuve con él. La verdad es que son de las mejores peleas que he tenido en mi carrera.